And so I created a universe in which liberty would be the guiding principle, along with love and harmony. It is a delicate balance, as well as know in their own lives. Those of you who have children struggling with everyday problems, how much freedom is the perfect balance for a young man be? How far they can be authorized to extend the control limits before? Always, I took the more lenient approach, knowing that love was the greatest power of all, and that the light always be the guide would take us all finally back to one. And so I decided to shelve the reins, so to speak, and allow all my children create the atmosphere they found more interesting and challenging. I did not know then how imaginative my loved ones could be, but, of course, we're made in the image of the you-know, like me, and so, as you might say that the skies are the limit. They were the ones who requested and were allowed to design the concept of the matrix, which include the dark and the light, illusion and truth, and out of this design came the behavior they now call evil. They gave a name to this illusory energy of darkness. They called Satan. There was no being with this name. It was just the description of the entire spectrum of the rebellious impulses, those calculated forays into independence me, you know, and the clear connection and conscious of light. As you can see, they had become accustomed to the idyllic and comfortable existence in love and light. They believed that if they were challenged with more intensity, more sorely tempted to turn away from our embrace of acceptance, learn to appreciate more deeply and would experience tremendous growth. Since then, we have learned that elements of some of my soul's creations were weighted a little too much toward freedom and individuality, and left them without the anchor needed to recover from their painful experiences without injury to their souls. Of course, it was not a consideration in my original plan of having painful or harmful to my children experiences. I had imagined a universe of light, love and harmony. I created the universe was one of great beauty, full of volatile energy and extensions, compensation built nutritious and colorful plasma energies, gentle waves modulated, and my creations could play. This was my love. But they were doomed to be overtaken by dark that focused on the creation of increasingly complex twists and turns in her womb, while developed powerful new technologies. They moved quickly in their technical skills, but failed to develop their spiritual connections between them and us. Over the eons, they learned to embody in the lower dimensions without returning to my loving embrace, a trick that also led to his universe, and so the gap widened between beings of light and those who played on the dark side. As you can imagine about my story, all this went too far. While the sons of light designed technologies to make their most interesting and prosperous lives, including the possibility of traveling to the ends of their galaxies, the dark began to develop weapons, including extremely powerful inventions as you have seen in your planet. We were aware of their ill-conceived projects and dark intentions, and continually tried to work with them to teach them the simple mistake of his roadways, but settled both in their own illusions that were no longer able to grasp that light I could never be defeated, and had come to believe that the Matrix was his own creation. It was a truly tragic descent down. My grief is causing many difficulties for my beloved sons of light, which eventually forced to leave their homes because of the destructive and dangerous intentions of his brothers and sisters Israel. Nobody wanted to see destroyed our glorious creation, but finally decided on the boards of Amaran in consultation with my beloved children who had become the brilliant leaders of our universe, who had no choice but to leave our beloved home immediately and disband again in the power of one. Our intention was to start again, with greater wisdom and determination to create a new universe, with the help of it was safe and prosper in love and light. Our board meetings were poignant, full of feelings of nostalgia and a kind of lament, but never waver in our intention to preserve what was of light, leaving behind everything else. It was not easy to give the children of my heart because I had never stopped loving them, even watching them moving on a path to destruction. It was that connection, the pain of my heartstrings, who transmitted the dark a hint of my intentions, and that perhaps made me hesitate a moment as I said goodbye to those he loved. Our universe disappeared in a flash of light, as if it were swallowed up in the void, but some of the dark to escape crossing borders in his then young universe, where they became the great annoyance they had faced since. Catherine, I am struggling with feelings as I write these words. Feel these waves of deep sadness and pain in my heart. It is difficult to continue. May not be enough tears to express the pain I feel for the loss. Randa is describing the slash. She comforts me and tells me that my tears are the memories of the time we made this choice together with others, many of which are now the company of heaven, our fellow travelers. Yes, beloved children of my heart, many of you are the survivors, the warriors of light who came here to incarnate as human beings to continue their courageous efforts to bring back to their brothers and sisters to the light, and create a new world here under the loving gaze of my brother creator, Ohara. The knowledge they carry in their hearts and minds comes from their previous experiences and challenges in Amaran. Our work together to contain and manage those who turned away from the light laid the foundation for his success here in Terra. We also established the liberal structure that became the top model intergalactic federation of light. His beloved Ashtar is here to continue their good work as the guardian and protector of the beings of light in the universe, and to help our beloved Terra in his ascension. You see, Terra's ascension marks the triumph of light over darkness. It was inevitable that the struggles that one day began long ago, one day everything would be transcended. But it was also the form of the universal life that time would be a time, with the energies intertwined all living beings in the creation of the grand plan. There are wonders ahead for all of you. In the billions of years since Amaran ceased to exist, I have not been idle. We all creators of have been developing new universes, new galaxies and planets that reflect their universe and that will allow you to experience the complex plan of ascension that is now beginning. There will be new horizons, new worlds to explore, and unlimited opportunities to participate in adventures. They are now in the process of separating light from darkness, illusion of reality, and the dismantling of the matrix dark brought to Terra. They are similar to those created in Amaran, because the dark had little real creativity. Take heed, my beloved, and will see and feel the lack of complete life of their beliefs and plans. Learn to identify the monotonous melodrama as darkness in its essence, which is anger, resentment, envy, intolerance, impatience and fear. Those feelings do not exist in the light. We are made for light. Nothing else will remain in the world of a higher dimension who have chosen to live, but now they have to grow in their own vision. I am here with you in love, and I will continue to assist in sending the enormous energies of the that transport through the space has reached its wonderful trip. I am eternally your Randa.